Hi, and welcome to the first installment of Duck Punch's weekly comic reviews. I am your host, Travis Duck Punch Collins, and I have 6 books we're going to talk about today. Power Girl number 14, New Avengers number 2, Batman Beyond number 2 of 6, The Avengers number 3, Justice Society of America number 41, and New Mutants number 15. We're going to go ahead and get things started real quick. Up first is Power Girl number 14 with art by Sami Basri and writing by Judd Winick. This is an all-around fun book. This is just great fun to read. I know a lot of people really don't like Judd Winick, but I kind of like him, and I enjoyed this. Power Girl is fighting against a super-powered android, the Thing. We don't really know precisely what it is, but while she's doing that, she's also trying to find out where the employee who stole all of her company's money has disappeared to, and she's trying to keep Booster Gold from doing anything incredibly stupid while he's looking for Maxwell Lord in Justice League Generations Lost. I'm just amazed that this book is still around after a year. It's a great book, and I'm just so glad that this character is really being given a shot. A lot of people who left when the original creative team, Gray, Palmiotti, and Connor, when that creative team left, I really think you should come back and give this book another shot. This was the best book of the week, I think. Up next is New Avengers number 2 by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Stuart Immonen. And of the 2 Avengers books that came out this week, this one is much better. Which isn't saying much, as you're going to find out in just a second. Luke Cage, from the end of the first issue, is going on an absolute rampage with some creature that has possessed him. About halfway through the book, the creature jumps out of him and jumps into his best friend Iron Fist and steals the Eye of Agamotto, which is a powerful magical amulet, and disappears, which abruptly calls all hell to literally break loose. As much as I really want this book to suck, it doesn't. It's not bad at all. I'm still not crazy about sort of the feel of the book. It kind of feels more like superhero version of Friends than it does, an Avengers team, a Hallmark superhero team, but it's not bad. And compared to the other book, at least this one has a clear story and the art looks good. I just really wish we would get a slightly better version of the slightly better feel for the team. But if you have to pick between Avengers books, particularly ones written by Bendis, go with this one, hands down. Up next is Batman Beyond number 2 of 6, written by Adam Beechin, with art by Ryan Benjamin. And this continues to be an interesting book, though this issue is not as good as the first one. Terry McGinnis, the new Batman, is still trying to find out who is killing all of old Batman's villains. This person is very, very likely the villain Hush, but it's not wholly shown, it's not blatantly said yet. While he's doing that, he also has to contend with a new Catwoman, who has sort of a ninja motif going on. I'm kind of disappointed with this issue because it's feeling more and more like Return of the Joker, but instead of the Joker, it's Hush. Which is kind of boring because I own Return of the Joker. If I wanted to watch it, I would. I'll be really irritated if this is in fact Hush, if this is Thomas Elliot, since, again, that'd be really, really obvious, really, really blatant. I kind of hoping for a swerve here. Still, I am really happy to see Terry McGinnis getting attention. I loved Batman Beyond when it was on television, so I'm going to keep buying this, and I'm going to keep encouraging people to buy this. Up next is The Avengers number 3, again by Brian Michael Bendis, with art by John Romita Jr. And good God, this book is horrible. This is just horrible. This is the absolute worst book I read this week. The Avengers are fighting an alternate future version of Apocalypse and the Four Horsemen before they beat them, and then they send a team to go find another tear in time. Stop me if you've heard this before. Aside from absolutely horrible artwork, God, I cannot stand John Romita Jr.'s artwork. Aside from that, this issue really didn't do anything. There was no forward movement in the story. We know exactly as much as we did at the end of the last issue. All the dialogue feels incredibly forced, and Bendis succeeds in making Spider-Man annoying as hell. Which is weird, because in his other his other book this week was Spider-Man, New Avengers #2, he wasn't nearly this annoying. He wasn't nearly this bad. And I don't know what the disconnect here is, but it was just painful to read. I'm sticking with this book through the first story arc, but if things don't improve very, very quickly, I'm going to have to drop this, which feels bad because it's The Avengers. This is one of those books that, if you're a Marvel fan, you should be reading, but, this is bad. Up next is Justice Society of America #41, written by James Robinson, with art by Mark Bagley. This is a good issue. It has a lot of really cool moments, but nothing in this book, is earth-shattering. You probably could skip this story arc, which is kind of sad. But anyway, the Starheart, which is the source of power for the original Green Lantern, has taken over various characters, and in this issue it's taken over Dr. Fate. And he, along with Obsidian, have captured the original Flash, Wildcat, and Dr. Midnight. Now, while all that's happening, metahumans around the world, people with superpowers, including JSA All-Star's own Cyclone, are being driven insane. In terms of action, this is a really good book. There's a lot of really good action scenes. But the exposition scenes, where they're trying to explain what's going on, and the character moments are really flat. They're really boring. They just feel sort of slapped on there. This issue does do a really good job, though, of making me want to read the next part. So if that's a major criteria for a successful issue, then this gets kudos. Just, I don't know, not that many. It's not that great, but it is good. Finally, we have New Mutants #15, written by Zeb Wells, with art by Leonard Kirk. Even for not being a big fan of the New Mutants team, this was a really solid issue. Cannonball, the leader of the team, has taken his team on leave to work out amongst them all the things that happened during Second Coming, which was an amazing storyline. Just throwing that out there. While that's going on, a team of soldiers, of American Army soldiers, who were stuck in limbo and, for lack of a better word, went native, have escaped and are hunting down and eventually kidnap Pixie, of New X-Men fame. Despite not really keeping up with this book or what's been going on in it, this was pretty easy to follow, and it was a pretty entertaining read. And I want to see where this is going, but here's the biggest thing. This book has to stand out. There are so many X titles coming out right now that nothing short of jaw-dropping, absolutely stunning is going to keep this on my list. It has got to separate itself from the herd. It's got to justify it, and based on this issue alone, it didn't really do that. I get the impression this is more for people that have been reading New Mutants for a very long time, which doesn't really make it very new reader friendly. And I'm probably gonna get the next 2 or 3 issues, just kind of see where things are going, see if this is worth it. But it really needs to pick up the pace, and it really needs to, just knock it out of the park. Alright, so there we go. 6 reviews in under 9 minutes. I know that probably went really, really fast. Best book of the week, Power Girl #14. Read this title. If you're not, you're doing something wrong. Worst of the week, hands down, no competition, The Avengers #3. Just bad. Look forward to another one of these, either this weekend or early next week, and thank you for watching. Please comment and tell me if I did anything wrong. Have a good day, guys.